It is personal for Rich Rodriguez. He has made that abundantly clear. And today's his birthday. So let's give Rich Rod some gifts, man. What are 10 big gifts that he could give himself over the 2025 season? I got some good ones for you.
You are Locked On West Virginia, your daily podcast on the West Virginia Mountaineers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey, what is up? Welcome back in, guys. My name is Mountaineer Paul, and I am your host here. Welcome into Locked On West Virginia, baby, where we're talking about some more football on the holiest of days in the 2025 calendar. Sir Rich Rodriguez's birthday. Yes, I've knighted him just now as we speak. You know, hard to believe that he's in his 60s, guys. It's one of those things that time goes by. I grew up watching Rich Rod, obviously, as one of the young coaches in the profession, and so it's weird to see him past middle age in his 60s doing this. But he's still pissing hot. We know that. And so I thought, you know what? Since there's no news basically today, I mean, yes, did Rakis Passmore go to Maryland yesterday? Yes, he did. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, Maryland wasn't even listed among his final teams. That just lets you know in this portal era, somebody could come in with the best offer at the last minute or have the most playing time at the last minute. And everybody that's in somebody's final teams, it's bull hockey. It's just not true anymore, guys. So forgive me for being wrong, I guess, about that one. Thought West Virginia had a chance there, but there's no way to predict it anymore. Rich Rodriguez, happy birthday, man. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I was obviously a huge advocate of Rich Rod coming back to West Virginia. I know a lot of people are not. That's fine. Don't have to be. But let's get into it, because what are the best presents for Rich Rod this year? We're going to talk about that, and one to go on, right? So what is the one to go on? Well, in this episode, it's more tape, because I really enjoy watching tape with you guys, and I have a lot of people tell me that they enjoy watching it too. So I got a couple more players for us that we brought in to watch some tape. We got Michael Coach Jr. on this episode, and I bet a lot of you guys haven't even seen one shred of tape of the lockdown corner. Why is he so hyped? Well, we're going to figure that out too. All right, so let's get to it, guys. I made a list of 10 things, 10 presents Rich Rod could give himself in 2025 that would truly knock his socks off. The present number one, a battle-tested quarterback one to lead the charge. The best possible scenario is Nico Marchiol steps up as the undeniable starter, throwing for over 3,000 yards, 25 touchdowns, also running for 800-plus yards, silencing any doubts with veteran poise, exactly the grown man Rich Rod needs under center. So that's number one. And I think it's possible. I do think there's a chance that Nico could come in and do this, obviously. Now, Jalen Henderson will factor into this equation as well, and he could, if he did the same thing, it would still be almost as good. The only reason I say that is because I said this multiple times now. I don't know if Jalen would stay if he had a big offer out there. I think Nico would be more apt to negotiate with us and possibly stay long term, one more year, basically. But that's the really only major differences. I think Nico would stick around and Jalen may not, So I don't even know. Maybe he would. I have a better feeling with that with Nico. So obviously Nico succeeding is better for the program, is all I'm saying. So we'll see what happens there. That's obviously one that certainly would be, I think it's the biggest present, outside of one other present that I have on here. Nico stepping up to being that guy would be great for our program from a visibility standpoint. He's got the personality. He's got the look. He's got literally everything. And the only thing we need is him to perform. So that's going to be one to keep an eye on. Now, these are all separate from one another, guys. I don't think it would be fair to put all 10 of these together and say all 10, at the same time. So let's move on to number two. Jaheim White's 2,000-yard rampage. We haven't had a 2,000-yard rusher here. Have we ever had a 2,000-yard rusher? Maybe Zeraway did it. I don't even know if he was 2,000 yards. I have to go back and look. But let's say Jaheim White explodes for 2,000 rushing yards, bulldozing defenses, becoming the Big 12's most feared running back. Obviously, he wouldn't be bulldozing people as much as around people. And for those of you listening on podcasts, that was me jiggling my 300-pound body around like I was juking somebody out. But obviously that would be a history-making running game. And I think Jaheim White he's got the talent to do it. Does he have the durability to do it? I think that's the major question with him. And I don't know the answer to it. Maybe somebody else does, but let's see if that one happens. Number 3, present to Rich Rod for his birthday today. A true number 1 wide receiver to stretch the field, which I am very confident about. We already have this. A breakout star emerges, whether it's a transfer like, let's go with Jeff Wymer, just somebody off the wall even. Or somebody that's on the current roster, like Jaden Bray, could rack up 1,200 receiving yards, 10 touchdowns as a Rodriguez go-to guy in the passing game. How about that? A passing Rich Rodriguez. I don't think he's against it. If it wins the games, I think he'll do it. Favorite in-house, obviously, Cam Vaughn. And I'm going to show you 2 other guys today that I really like. The more I watch tape on Jeff Wymer, the more I'm going to be shocked if he doesn't get on the field. We got a really good receivers, guys. I'm telling you. Number 4, present to Rich Rodriguez, an elite brick wall offensive line. The offensive line could be bolstered like transfers like, let's say, Walter Youngbear, or you could go with the guy like Malik Agba, and the offensive line becomes a dominant force. Or maybe you go Kimo Makaniole, allowing 0 sacks this year, paving the way for a monster season to Jaheim White. So, obviously this is the best presents you could give him. I'm not saying these are all realistic. So that would be awesome. I think, realistically, legitimately, this offensive line needs to be very good to elite. If you were doing a checklist, it would be probably number 2 behind a quarterback 1. Because I personally believe a good quarterback can make up for a bad offensive line. We've seen Shadur Sanders do that. We saw Pat White at times make up for our offensive line on days when it wasn't playing well in the past. But at the end of the day, like against Pitt in the 13-9 game, if they're not up to snuff that day, sometimes even a great quarterback can overcome it. So that's what brings us to possibly the number 1 present on the board, revenge on Pitt, 9-13 in the backyard brawl. West Virginia crushes Pitt on September 13th, 2025 in a 52-10 blowout, with Rich Rod getting his personal redemption in front of a roaring Mountaineer nation. Pitt doesn't stand a chance. That's what I wrote down. So obviously this is the biggest game on the schedule. I don't care what anybody says, unless we go to the Big 12 championship game or something like that. Beating Pitt this upcoming season after 17 years away, the game being what it is in history now, everybody knows about it. Even people who don't follow West Virginia or Pitt know about the 13-9 game. So obviously beating Pitt on 9-13, it's just almost like it's meant to be. Or here's the thing, guys, the other side of that coin is not only will they have bragging rights over beating Rich Rod 17 years ago or 18 years ago, or whatever it is, then they're going to have bragging rights for a few more years because the game goes away after this season. So, and Pitt, obviously, from a continuity standpoint, they've got a quarterback. Well, at least we think they do. I mean, I think Holstein's going to be a lot better this year. They've got a lot of pieces in place, possibly early on, to be, a pretty good team. We'll see. So that's going to be an interesting game. You throw the records out the window anyways, but, I would almost put that at number 1, but we can't throw the whole season away for just one game. The number, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was number 5. Number 6. How about a top 10 defense under Zach Alley and Jeff Castile? Defensive coordinator Zach Alley turns this unit into a turnover forcing machine, ranking in the top 10 in the country with 25 plus forced turnovers, giving Rich Rod the support he needs to build this offense from the ground up. You know, I think the Zach Alley acquisition was already one of the big presents that Rich Rod's gotten. That not everybody, it seems like most people have forgotten about that. You know, you look at the SP ranking from the other day, for instance, didn't even mention Zach Alley as one of the offseason acquisitions. And it's almost like people forget about that. But they're going to remember once this defense becomes what it will be. I think that our defense is going to be better than our offense this year. That's my personal opinion. We'll see. How about another big one, guys? A 5-star recruit stealing, maybe just maybe if we have a great season. There just happens to be a 5-star recruit out there called Chris Henry. Could Rich Rod possibly coach him like he did his dad? A young, versatile athlete, maybe this version of Tavon Austin for us. This so many years later, and could really signal return to dominance for West Virginia and a recruiting win over Ohio State. You know, obviously, now if you're asking me, do I think this is going to happen? No, but obviously, this is a fun exercise. Number 8, a 10-win season to shock the nation. West Virginia finishes 10-2, exceeding expectations and earning spot in a major bowl game, perhaps the playoff, proving Rodriguez's return as a spark Mountaineer Nation absolutely needed. Number 9, Nico Marchiol or Jalen Henderson's Heisman watch moment. Nico has a signature 400-yard, 4-touchdown game against a ranked opponent at the end of the season, landing him on the Heisman watch list and putting West Virginia in the national spotlight. So this is obviously on the back of what we talked about in the beginning, 3,000 yards, 25 touchdowns, 800 rushing yards, putting him in that conversation and attended to West Virginia. And the last one, a Big 12 championship game appearance, not a win. Rodriguez leads West Virginia to the Big 12 title game in his first year, setting up a dramatic showdown in Arlington. His present to the fans is showing Mountaineer Nation that they made the right choice and are back to compete for crowns. Let me know what you guys think below. Is there a present you would add to the list for Rich Rod? Is there a present you would give him for his birthday today that I forgot about? I would love to hear it from you. Let me know down below, guys. Let's go to break. We'll come back and let's play some tape, man. I got a couple more players for you guys today that I'm really excited about. We'll talk about him next. Obviously, Michael Coach Jr. being the headliner, but he's not the only one. Let's stick around. This is Locked On West Virginia. This episode of Locked On West Virginia is going to be brought to you by Monarch Money. When we're talking about Monarch Money, guys, if you ever checked your bank account and wondered, where did all my money go? Between dining out, online shopping, and entertainment, it's easy to lose track. And that's where Monarch Money comes in, your personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control over your finances. It's not just a budgeting app. We talk about that. It's a complete financial command center where you can track your accounts, investments, and spending in one place so you can stop managing money and start building your wealth. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money today. Use code LOCKEDONCollege at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONCollege for half off your very first year. It's segment 2. Let's crack this do wide open and get to this because I've got some more breakout star watch candidates / whatever you want to put these guys as. Obviously, we're going to start here with somebody that I think a lot of people, and I got to thinking about this. I wonder how many people have actually watched anything about Michael Coach Jr. and what he is as a player, because I think it's probably very few. I think a lot of people just look at the names, they hear what people say, and that's where they stop without actually watching the tape. This is why, Michael Coates is, in my opinion, uh, possibly the biggest get of the offseason for West Virginia. Obviously, he's going to compete with Jamori Robinson for that. But let's get to the tape. This is Michael Coates Jr. when he played at Nevada, a true lockdown corner.
You're really high on Michael Coates Jr., what he does for this Kane-Io Nevada defense. Like a crackpot defender, you can just set it and forget it. He's going to play sticky press man coverage, run with the defender the entire
Shit.
So I got to turn it off there, the music, but I wanted you guys to hear what the announcer said, obviously. So obviously these are highlights, and I always preface this by saying, he does have some weaknesses, but very few. And by far the most complete defender we got in the portal. Well, not by far, but he is. And I'll explain what he does really well on this, but just keep in mind, whenever I'm taking my own time to watch Michael Coates, it's not this highlight. I've watched it, but I watched the video, the game footage, and I always encourage you to do that as well. So keep that in mind as we watch this. Highlights only show the good things about players and not the bad, although you can see bad things on highlight footage. It's just a lot of times it's cut up. Like coaches will help. A lot of times a coach will help a kid get one of these ready, or a coach will make it for the kid to try to, especially at lower levels, to try to minimize the bad plays on there. And what they'll do is, like, let's say a kid picks off a pass, but he had some bad technique early on in the play. They'll just cut it right before the pick, right? Or if it's good all the way, they'll let the whole thing play. So there's different things coaches can do to make their players look the best on highlight footage, which is why I encourage you watch actual footage. All right, first play. I mean, he came from way back there, if you couldn't tell. Here he is coming from behind. He's behind the play. Great pick. Actually, it might show it here. Yeah. So you see him break on that ball. And actually, is there some announcers right here? I can't remember.
Pedal.
Yeah. So here, listen to what the announcer says.
Breaking out of his back pedal to make a play on.
So, he broke out of his back pedal and was able to make his play on that ball because of his elite athleticism. And that's one of the things he does have. He's a super athlete. He's so sticky and press man, as you can see here. And this is good football. Mountain West football is good, but I mean, he's got great tape against Power 5 teams. Look at this coverage. I mean, this is literally what they teach when they use teach tape. This is how they teach it. The receiver's in his hip pocket. He's in perfect position. One hand on the receiver, one hand ready to make a play on the ball. And look, he's able to get that hand in there and mess the receiver up on the on the reception. This is exactly how they teach it, and it's exactly why that's an incomplete ball. It's great. And it's something we haven't had lately. He's physical enough. Here he is down here. He's physical enough at the line of scrimmage to be able to reroute receivers, but also down the field when guys get to the top of their route, he's got the athleticism to cut, change direction with whatever way the receiver goes. And sometimes even when he makes a mistake, he's got the closing speed to make up for it, which you'll see. See, this is a great example of he's just a smart football player. He bites on this a little bit. I mean, it's a good route too. Look at the route. Pay attention to the route first. Look at the cut the guy makes. It's a very good cut. And the double move is very good. It's exactly how they teach it. Watch this. 1, 2. There's a lot of guys that bite on that, But watch Michael Coates. He bites on it but he's got the balance and the, everything you need to reroute himself here. Boom, boom. And he's downfield with him and makes the pick on an incredible play up in the air. Want to see a hit? Boom. How about that one? And look at that closing speed, guys. This is what you talk about when you want to talk about closing speed. This is elite closing speed. Boom. Get on the ground. Here he is against a tight end or a big receiver. He's, he gets there angry, right? Whenever he gets to the play, he's pissed. And he's going to make somebody miss. He's Well, I'd say there's 5 yards. I'd say he's 7 or 8 yards off here, right? So look at him make this play. This should be a catch. The ball's late, but look his arm. Look at his arm. It's over the receiver's arm, and it's down in between his hands, and it's right before the ball gets there. I mean, it's almost simultaneous. It's it's like, I mean, it's simultaneous, really. But I mean, and you get the incomplete pass there as well. Nice job. Here's another great example of him using that length to get around somebody. He's just so sticky. It's a great word for him because let's get back some here. Sorry, guys. I'm not perfect. So here he is right here, obviously in the slot. And look, they're trying to rub route him here. Like this usually works, right? It's what they call a legal rub when two receivers become close with one another. It's like setting a pick in basketball, right? Ooh, I didn't mean to do that. And then the receiver pops open. Watch Michael Coates, so sticky. The rub route does nothing, and he makes the play. They were stupid for going at him anyways. Look at him. He's just the best athlete on the field right here, right? Like there's a bunch of people. There's one. Oh, let me go back. Sorry. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys going for the ball. He jumps from a non-optimal spot. This guy right here is probably in the best spot, or maybe this guy. But watch him jump up and get one hand on it and pull this thing in. Incredible catch. Incredible ball skills. So I really do think we got a quarterback in the corner number 1. It's not even close. And, I asked him whenever he came to West Virginia because of what was said. I mean, look how he rides these guys down the field. It's insane. Like, he's stuck to him, man. It'd be so annoying to play against him. There's nothing. You're not getting nothing. You're not getting nothing. Look at that play. Beautifully done. He's beat here, but he gets there angry. That's what you call rerouting, guys. When you want to talk about rerouting, and this shows the play twice, which is great. So here's the result of the play, right? The receivers, it looks like most fans would say the quarterback overthrew him. The quarterback overthrew him. When actually what's happened is, see, quarterback wide, you guys probably know this, some of you, but quarterback wide receiver is all timing based, right? It's 1, 2, 3, and the receiver's also doing this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and look in, right? And a quarterback is 1, 2, 3, and he's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then they're supposed to be somewhere at the same time in a lot of cases. Well, if you've got a guy like Michael Coates who legally can put his hands on you at the line of scrimmage and ride you up 5 yards, then what are you going to do? You can't do that same route. And this is exactly what makes him such good in press man coverage, because routes get rerouted, timing gets thrown off, and what happens when those two things happen? Jamori Robinson gets a sack, right? So it helps the entire defense. A lot of sacks are because of this right here, because most quarterbacks are going to hold on to the ball when this happens. But watch Michael Coates Jr. absolutely dominate this receiver here. Dominated. Not even close. Here he is in the run game helping out off the edge. So there's another part of his versatility. Did you see that? Coming off the edge. Here he is coming off the edge right here in run support. So he's got the speed, quickness, and tackling ability to come off the edge. Boom. Nicely done. You'll take that too. And every play you see, he's getting his hands on a guy and knocking the ball loose, right? He's so good at it. Here he is again. I mean, how many deflections have we seen in just this highlight? And look, and this is a good route. This is a good release off the route from the receiver. I mean, as far as his quickness goes and everything, how he looks down here. But look at Michael Coates in press man again, get his hands on this kid and say, you're not going anywhere. Nope. And he got a little handsy with him, but I mean, it's pretty legal overall. Look at him. He's so smart. I mean, he just poked that thing right out. Nicely done, man. Michael Coach Jr. is going to be a problem for us, guys. Look at this play here. Just, you're not going anywhere. Where did you think you were going? Riding you straight out of bounds. No play. And it goes on and 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 on with him. You know, like every play you watch of Michael Coach Jr. is him being the best player. So don't be surprised if Coach Jr. doesn't come in next year, immediately establish himself as number one wide receiver. Look at the speed. This is UNLV, right? This is a good team. And some of these highlights you see of him are him dominating UNLV receivers. Here's against Boise. But, you know, I think he'll come in next year, establish himself as wide receiver number one. Or, I'm sorry, cornerback number one. Did I say wide receiver? My apologies. And also be an all Big 12 player. And outside of that, I think he could be anything else too. West Virginia got lucky to get him, but they had to pay him to do it, right? Like I said, the rumor was that they paid him not to go see Ole Miss. I'm curious if that actually happened. We're going to break one more time, come back and watch some other cool stuff, especially Jeff Wymer. I love this kid. We'll be right back. This is Locked On West Virginia. All right, guys, we're back here Locked On West Virginia talking some football, man. Rich Rod's birthday was today. That's the premise for this episode. And although he's already got some presents like a Michael Coach Jr., he's got a couple others that we kind of need to show up and be something, right? And so Big 12 Football Digest put out a video on Jeff Wymer, and I just want to show a couple plays that they show because excellent job by them, by the way. Jeff Wymer is one of the best route runners you're going to find, and let's just watch it here.
Stuff. Let's take a look here. I mean, this.
I got to turn the music off, unfortunately. So this is Jeff Wymer here at UNLV, by the way. This is not even his Idaho State footage. This is at UNLV, which is a step above, obviously, where he had really good production at UNLV, by the way. But this is one of the nastiest routes that you'll see. Check this route out. Oh, 10 yards of separation. Oh, my God, what a nasty route, guys. You know, and this is why I think he'll get on the field for us. It's simply because of this route running. I mean, look at this. Look how he sets him up. Ooh. And he does this on film, too. Like, and I'll go to his film on his X page. It's so good. It's so good. Like, I think he's been productive at the high group of five level in the past. And I don't see any reason why he won't continue to be so. I mean, look at these routes, guys. They're so crisp. They're so fluid. They're so twitchy. And he doesn't look like he would be this when you look at him. But look at him off the line and watch how quick these moves are. Boom, and then boom, out. There's very few corners that can stay with that. If you the way you're going to get Wymer off his game is like Michael Coates. Get your hands on him early and reroute him, because if you let him get into his bag with these routes, you're in trouble. Look at this one. And I mean, he absolutely just puts people on their asses. I mean, look at this is what they call at the top of the route. This is what basically the top of the route is right when they're going to make a cut, right before where the quarterback and receiver are on the same page, and you're going to make a cut, and I throw it at the same time, and I'm kind of throwing you open. This is what this is. Oh, and just so beautifully done. He's got some good speed, man. Oh my God, guys. I mean, he may be, so we looked at Cyrus Trawl yesterday, and I was marveling over his route running ability, and it's very good. But like objectively look at this and say to yourself, is there anybody on our team that can run a better route than this? I mean, are we going to have a team full of route running monsters? That's sick. We didn't have anybody who could do that last year. Not one player. Sorry to tell anybody. Maybe Darius Farmer could, you know, I don't know, but like here's some of his Pro Football Focus grades. Um, very good grades all the way through. It looks like. Let's see. Does it have the total? No. I mean, it's got different grades, like offensive, like he had an 81 here, 70 here, 74 here. Looks like he was at a 70 for offense, a 70 for receiving, and a 79.9 on drops, 54 on fumbles. Pass blocking grade is 67.9. These are all passing grade, but 79.9 is elite. 70.6 is well above average. So, it's hard. I don't know the context here, so I don't want to, and here's the season grades. Okay. 2024 at Idaho State, he had 75 catches for 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns, guys. That's a very good year. At UNLV, he got hurt, but he had 26 catches for 278 yards and a touchdown, which is still pretty good. 26 catches is good. It's not elite, but 75 catches is elite, but it's at a lower level. But you look at it, 70.6 receiving grade, 79.9 on the drops is really good. It's elite. So, we'll continue to monitor that and see what he looks like this year. But I think, man, and it's got it broken down to pass blocking in the slot, just different things out wide, 442 snaps out wide, it looks like. So, there's a lot. That's a lot, obviously. I do want to get to his X page really quick and show you guys a couple of his, because it's so funny how you see how he looks on tape there. Okay, now let's get to his X page where I can show you a couple things. All right. Let's see. Present, share screen. And for those listening on podcast, thank you so much for being patient while I do this. So, this is Wymer's X page. If you're not following him, give him a follow at Jeffrey Wymer 80. He's probably going to be a really good player for us this year. Just letting you know now. I predict him to be one of our. He'll be one of the 5 for sure. So here he is in practice. This was on July 14th, 2020, guys. So this is a long time ago. I didn't realize it was this long ago. I mean, he's come a long way since here. But you can see just the technique is so good. He's gotten stronger, faster, and better since here. This has got to be coming out of high school, probably. So I didn't know it was this long ago, honestly. Hard to believe, honestly. I mean, pretty crazy. So he's obviously going to be quicker, faster, stronger, and the whole thing. But you can kind of see where some of this stuff comes from. Some of the footwork, some of the route running it's very crisp. It's very good. And he's a long strider, and he's probably going 70% here. It's not like he's going 100%. He's just getting the reps in. So Jeff Wymer, another guy that I'm a big fan of this year that any of these guys can make an impact. I think Wymer's going to. All right, guys, that's all I have time for. I had another guy picked out, but it looks like I'm not going to be able to do that. So it's all right. No big deal there. I appreciate you guys for joining in, and thanks for being Locked On West Virginia, your first listen, and for being a part of the Locked On Podcast Network. We talk about your team every single day. I'll see you guys tomorrow, man. Make the Portal Report your second listen over on YouTube. If you don't know who that is, the Portal Show, Brian Smith has the latest rumors, portal entries, and signings. You got to check him out over here on YouTube, guys, or on podcast. I'll see you guys tomorrow, man. 7 days a week. Happy birthday to Rich Rod, and I'll see you guys later. I'm out of here.